don't turn around. And I'm thinking, well, why not? And he says, don't turn around, because if you see my face, you'll have to stay here. And he says, now, that'll be okay if you stay here, but I have a job for you. And if you disobey me, I won't be happy. And he says, you don't want to see me unhappy. So I said, yeah, well, okay. I better pay attention and do what he says. And then I said, you know, I know who you are. He said, oh, you do? And I said, yeah. And I said, I've got a little problem. I've got a little pet peeve. I've got a little bone to pick with you. He says, well, what is it? You know, it wasn't mad or anything, just a normal speaking voice. And I said, well, I know that a new generation is born every 10 years. And I know that if you take the square root of 3 generations, it only goes back to about, I think it's about 589 years. And I said, I know that in the Bible it says that Adam and Eve have been on the earth about 6,000 years, something like that. And he starts laughing. I said, well, what's so funny? He said, well, you are. I said, why? I said, your math is wrong. And then I just start thinking, I said, where did I get those numbers? I must have been crazy. I couldn't believe it. I said that because, you know, I kind of like prided myself on knowing math and science. And all during this conversation, I had a feeling of where he was, that he was walking back and forth behind me, that he was sitting in a white throne, just a plain chair, didn't have jewels or anything on it, but just a plain white chair. And I could just feel that, and I don't know why. That's what I was feeling. The next thing that happened is he said, do you have any more questions before you leave? I said, you know, I got to think about this. And I thought, I was thinking really hard, what am I going to ask God? Couldn't think of anything. I wanted to be really smart enough to ask him something very pertinent. And so I said, well, I'm going to have to revert to an old cliche. What's the meaning of life? And he starts laughing again. I said, what's so funny now? And he says, well, I don't know why, but a lot of people ask me that question, and it's really real simple. But I tell you what, when you come back, we'll sit down. You can ask me all the questions that you ever will have. I'll answer for you. So I said, okay. He says, okay, it's time for you to go back. And I turned around. I'm sorry, but he put his arms around me. He put his arms around me. And it was a feeling that I can't explain. It was unconditional love, but it was words. I can't tell you the words. And I'm sorry, but I always act like this because I can feel it again. So, it changed my life. And the next thing I heard was the nurse was saying, I think he's ready to come out of it. His temperature's at 90 degrees. 9 days later, I was discharged from the hospital. First thing I wanted to do was go out and tell everybody I knew what happened to me. And I found out right away that was the wrong thing to do. Some people were okay with it. Some people just turned around and walked away from me as fast as they could. They were scared to death. They thought I'd lost my mind. But I'll have to tell you that my life has changed completely. I'm no longer afraid of death. All the problems that I thought were problems are all gone. I don't have any problems. I don't have anything that gets me down. A week later, a guy came in that I knew, and he said, I heard about your experience. I said, yeah, it happened. He said, I heard that you were, you had a near-death experience and that you were out for about an hour. And I said, yeah, that's true. He said, well, the same thing happened to me. And I said, and then I asked him what the meaning of life was, and he says, oh, that's easy. It's all about love. That was the perfect answer. So I got that message right away. Now, I study the Bible, and it's taken me a long time. I've been doing it for 6 years. I'm up to Matthew. I've translated every word from the original manuscripts into English. I was baptized recently. People ask me questions about that. Well, why are you getting baptized now? And I said, because it's the right time. I don't know what else to tell them. I don't believe that you have to be baptized to go to heaven, but I know one thing. I want to follow what Jesus did. He set an example. I want to, so I did.